Hey everybody, this is Russ Carson Jr., one of the genealogists here at Family Tree Nuts, and I'm in Ripley, Ohio. I'm right here on the Ohio River. That's the Ohio River over my shoulder with Kentucky on the other bank. But we're here in Ripley, Ohio, and we are at the historic marker of Charles Young. Charles Young was born into slavery in 1864 in Kentucky, but in the 1870s, his family had moved here to Ripley. Now, Charles excelled in his academic studies, and by 1881 became a school teacher here in Ripley. In 1884, at the encouragement of his father, who was a Civil War veteran, and of a Mr. John P. Parker, the famous abolitionist and Underground Railroad conductor, they encouraged him to apply to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. In 1884, he was actually accepted, and in 1889, Charles Young became the third Black American to graduate from West Point. He had quite a military career, and I'm going to walk around here to the other side, and I'm just going to flat out read the back of the historical marker here that you'll be able to see. But you see he rose from second lieutenant to lieutenant colonel in the Buffalo Soldiers Regiment of the 9th and 12th Cavalry and the 25th Infantry of the American West after 1889. He was a professor of military science in Wilberforce University from 1894 to 1898. He commanded the 9th Battalion, the Ohio National Guard, in the Spanish-American War in 1898 and 1899. He was the U.S. military attaché to Hispaniola in 1904 and 1907 and Liberia from 1912 to 1915. He was the first African-American National Park Superintendent of Sequoia National Park in 1903. He was a recipient of the NCAA's Spingarn Medal in 1916. He was promoted to full colonel and retired in 1917, but to prove his fitness after forced retirement, he made a 16-day, 497-mile horseback ride from Wilberforce to Washington, D.C. in 1918 and was reinstated. So they retired him, and then he rode a horse 497 miles to Washington, D.C. And he died in 1922 while military attaché to Liberia. And he's not buried here, he's actually buried in Arlington National Cemetery. That's why he's not here. The historic marker here is right around the way from the John P. Parker home that's right over there, the famous conductor of the Underground Railroad. So just a neat little thing here. At the time of his death, Colonel Young was the highest ranking African-American soldier in the United States Army, and only the third African-American to graduate from West Point. So thought that was a neat story here in Ripley, Ohio. I wanted to bring that to you. Remember, Family Tree Nuts. Let our nuts find the nuts in your family tree.